Hi everyone, Dave here from the Pavilion. We're just shooting a short video. I'm just going to show you a very nice dessert you could do over Christmas. It's a Baileys Crème Brûlée. It's got very few ingredients. We'll put up the recipe on our website or on Instagram. So what I have is I've got egg yolks and sugar in one pot, and then in this one here I have some cream and I've got some Baileys. So what you want to do is you want to bring the cream and the Baileys up to the boil. So I've got 500 mils of cream and 100 mils of Baileys. You bring it up to the boil. In a separate bowl, I have 120 grams of egg yolks. Make sure you weigh out the egg yolks. And I've got 80 grams of sugar. A little tip is you just mix these with a spatula because you don't want to whisk too much air into the mix. So once the cream and the Baileys has come to the boil, just pour it in on top of your egg mixture. And very important, don't use a whisk, just use a spatula to gently mix it in. So once you're sure that all the egg has been mixed into the cream and the sugar has dissolved, I'm just going to pour the mixture through a sieve, and that's just to ensure there's no bits of egg yolk or undissolved sugar. So when it comes to baking the crème brûlée, you can use different dishes. I'm going to do it in these dishes, but if you're doing it at home, a nice ramekin like that works just as well. The only difference between the two of them is the cooking time, which I'll demonstrate in a couple of minutes. So we're going to pour in the mixture into the ramekin or into the dishes. Fill them up about 3/4. It just makes it easier for getting them into the oven. A little tip to make sure you get a nice finish on your crème brûlée is just, if you have a blowtorch, just briefly go over the top of the crème brûlées before you bake them, just to burst all the bubbles, and it gives you a nice smooth finish, because when you caramelize later on you get a better finished product. We're going to bake them in the oven at 140 degrees using a technique called bain-marie, which is basically you have a deep tray. I'm going to put in enough hot water. It's best to put in piping hot water because it helps speed up the cooking process. You want enough water so it just comes up to the bottom of the dishes. Then I'm going to put a layer of cling film over the dish. And what's going to happen is, as it bakes in the oven, the steam will stay inside in the tray and slowly bake the crème brûlées. If you're nervous, put 2 layers on. And the cling film is perfectly okay in the oven at 140 degrees, it won't melt. So place them into the oven gently. Make sure that you don't spill any of the water into the mixture. That's why I only filled up maybe halfway on the dishes. Close the door. So I cook them at 140 degrees. These would probably take maybe 12 to 18 minutes. But what you will do, a little tip, is that every 6 or 7 minutes I just tap the oven to see the crème brûlée mix shake. And what I'm looking to see is that the center part of the crème brûlée is still a little bit wobbly when I tap the oven, and the outer side is fully set. Okay, so this one has been cooked already, but when you're cooking them in the oven, keep checking them every 4 or 5 minutes because they can all take different cooking times. But you're looking for maybe the size of a €2 coin in the center. It's still slightly wobbly, and when you take it out, the residual heat will finish it off. So if you're making crème brûlée, you can make them the day before and store them in the fridge, but they're actually a lot nicer if you make them on the day and let them sit at room temperature to set. So it's completely up to yourself. Obviously with these dishes, your oven at home mightn't take them, but you can make maybe 2 batches of 4, and they'll stack up nicely in the fridge and you're good to go for the next day. So to finish them off, what we do is we get some caster sugar, a light dusting of caster sugar on top, and just tap it out so it's nice and even. If there's any excess, you can take it off. So I have a nice layer of caster sugar on top. And then you need a blowtorch. So I'm going to get the blowtorch and I'm going to burn the sugar till it caramelizes. Be very, very careful, as obviously you can burn yourself quite easily doing this. So that's the crème brûlée finished. Again, it's very few ingredients. It's very, very important that you don't over whisk the eggs. You cook it slowly with a bain-marie. Keep an eye on it. And then when you caramelize the sugar and it goes cold, you should hear a nice crust on top, and then you just tap in, and that's it. Very simple dessert, easy to make, but make sure you follow all the steps properly. Have a great Christmas.